Hi to all. We still deal with grammar. We have forgotten that grammar should not be learned first, but it's language which should be listened first. Then we start speaking the language. Then we start reading it, writing it, and by the time we become experts, it's high time that we should learn the rules and the usages. But the rules and the usages that we learn have been, most of us that we are going through, are something which has been codified in 1851. The grammar book that I have been following till recently was that of Renan Martin, but I realized that that was one which was published in 1851. The grammatical rules used were in 1851. And now, we being in the 21st century, let us go to one of the latest edition of A Comprehensive Grammar of the English Language by Randolph Quirk and Sidney Greenbaum and Geoffrey Leach and Jan Swartik. It's a comprehensive grammar of English language. So I'm using this basically to find out the details in addition to other bibliography which will be given later. One of the major differences that I observed in this was that we no longer speak in English about future tense. We speak present and past tense. Present has an extension, reference of time, which has connection both in the future and also in reference to the past. So in detail, I'm going to talk to you about present tense in my just small video so that it will be helpful for my students, and later on we can go to past tense in our next video, and little by little we'll try to cover the topics. So this is my first attempt, novice attempt for the students. The state present, we are going to refer it in connection with time. The state present, it is non-countable noun or uncountable noun. Usually when it comes to uncountable nouns, we are speaking about present tense in the state, in that particular state. When concerned with eternal truths, geographical truths, mathematical statements, etc., that is the state. It's not going to change. Geographical truths, mathematical statements. So it has nothing to do with present tense, past tense or future. It will remain the same. And when the time span is restricted, that is one of the usages of present tense. In the state, we are using to referring time with reference to state of the thing. That is, the longest river in India is Ganges. The moon revolves round the earth. All that glitters is not gold. Sri Lanka shares a border with India. Veda likes to play guitar. In all this, we are talking about a state which has nothing to do with past tense or future or present. That is when we use present tense, that is simple present tense. Now, instantaneous present, singular countable nouns. With that, we are using instantaneous present, that is a simple action began and completed in a single moment. For example, it can be commentaries, exclamations, performatives. Suppose you are sitting in a theatre, you are creating an uproar, or you suddenly see somebody is turning up, you are searching for a watch and you see that, here it is. That's how you exclaim. He creates an uproar when he sees his watch or he sees his spectacles which is on his eyes. So he creates an uproar. The simple action began and it is completed in a single moment. Or it can be when our friends will come and tell us, see, I am having throat infection. What will be your advice? I advise you to gargle using warm water. This one is a simple action which begins and gets completed in a single moment. And that's when we have a reference to the time here, present tense. Now, the present can also be used as habitual present. Habitual present is used when it is plural countable nouns that can be countable. Regarding nouns, we will do in another sequence in detail. Habitual present means that in that one, the sequence of the events gets repeated over a period of time, or timeless statements can be mentioned over here. For example, Sita goes to school every day. I drink tea every day. Maybe one day or 2 days I would have changed it, but the thing is that usually or habitually I have a habit of taking tea in the morning, not coffee or milk. Keralites celebrate Onam every year. Now we are going to talk about the past reference of the present tense. In both the above cases, or in all three above cases, one was, as we have told you, the present state with uncountable nouns, with eternal truths, geographical truths, mathematical statements, etc., where the time span is restricted. There also we use it. Instantaneous present, that is used along with singular countable nouns, an action which began and completed in a single moment. Then we spoke about it in habitual present, which repeats over a period of time, and timeless statements where we cannot mention the time span. The past reference of the present tense is coming here. Let us look into it in detail. Communication took place in the past, but it is still operative or has its effect in the present. For example, we have, or usually there's a tendency to use this past reference of the present tense in newspapers, as headings in the newspapers, captions in photography, etc., or in biographical details of the writers. We use this one. The new minister swears in. Yes, the swearing in ceremony took place yesterday, but in the paper it would be written, the new minister swears in. R.K. Narayan, Rights of People and Life in Malgudi. So, it can be R.K. Narayan wrote, or it can be R.K. Narayan, Rights of People and Life in Malgudi, because still now the life of Malgudi people has been revealed. So, there's such a usage. That is past reference of the present tense. How about the future reference of the present tense? An action has taken place in the present, but it will have a future reference also. She will talk to you if she finds time. As in the case of the second person usages. When it comes to second person, which are the three persons of the pronoun? First person, second person and third person. The second person we usually have you. And you look into the details and ring me later. In that one too, we have a future reference of the present tense. In fictional narrative, suppose we have to give directions in the stage, then we use fictional narrative. Stage details. She is sitting in the chair. She is crying. She is reading with the spectacles on. In such things, the activity will be taking place as it is in present tense, but the directions are given in present tense inside brackets. That is usually used in stage directions. Now let us talk about the progressive aspect of present tense. In progressive aspect, duration, limited duration, and it may not be necessarily complete. That is what we are going to do. Progressive aspect deals with the duration, or it is dealing with limited duration, or maybe it is not complete. That is when we have a progressive aspect. And in this also we can have three different sections. One, it can be about the state. Next, it can be about the event, or it can be about the habitual purpose. In this state means it is remaining stationary or state, that present state. I am living in Mumbai. Maybe I may shift later to another place. This is temporary, that's the meaning. I am living in Mumbai at present. Now let us look into the event. Progressive aspect of event. Event has a duration that has not ended. I am teaching English. So the thing is that I have not yet stopped teaching English. Habitual. In that habitual one, Incompleteness or restricted duration usually has an adverbial clause of time, frequency, or position, but using always, forever, etc., the temporariness changes. This is what we have to speak about habitual one. Incompleteness or restricted duration is usually used. And when it is restricted duration, it will be followed by an adverbial clause of time, frequency, or position. The moment you start using always, forever, etc., the temporariness changes. I specified this because there was a doubt regarding the progressive aspect. Always is time accompanied by it. That was the question that somebody had to ask me. So that's in question. Once again, I'll repeat this part of habitual action. Incompleteness or the restricted duration. And this restricted duration happens when an adverbial clause of time, frequency, or position is coming there. Regarding adverbial clause, we'll have another session. At present, we are dealing with the progressive aspect of present tense alone. First, we will finish off the tenses, and then we will go to clauses, and then we'll have a section on voices. I hope this will give you a small idea regarding the grammar usages. Now I'll give an example for the habitual use of progressive aspect. He is driving his car. It's a temporary action. It doesn't mean that he always drives his car. In simple present tense, you can say that he drives his car. In that one, he comes to the school in his car. Always is driving his car. But here, he's driving his car means that it's temporary. Maybe his driver was on leave. He drives his car as permanent action, while his driving his car is a temporary action. We are going to look the progressive use of simple tense, and in that the future reference. Are you going for a movie next weekend? The progressive use to give a future reference there. The progressive use to give a attitudinal wish in polite usages. I am hoping to purchase a copy of grammar book. I am hoping to borrow something from you. It's a polite usage. Instead of saying I am going to buy or I will purchase or I am purchasing or anything of this here, attitudinal wish is usually giving it a polite touch. Use of progressive with will, shall, etc. or with models. Model auxiliaries will be discussed in another video, and in that we can see the usages for casual talk. I shall see you soon. Adverbial clauses usually associated with the tense, that is progressive use of present tense, include up to, now, since, this month, this evening, etc. We'll discuss now the perfective usage of present tense. Again, as usual, we're going to discuss the stage, event, and habitual usages. Usually, can you guess when do we use perfective? It is to show the current relevance, the time preceding whatever time is indicated currently. The relevant time zone leads up to the present situation. The event is recent. The result of the action leads up to the present. Or it is used to give a piece of news, as in the case, he has resigned, she has joined. It's used for the accomplishment of change of state. Have you eaten all the mangoes? Have your brother arrived at the station? The examples can also be like this. In the case of stage leading up to the present. Rajit have lived in Nagpur for 8 years. Still now he is in Nagpur. Suppose we say Rajit lived in Nagpur for 8 years or Rajit lives in Nagpur for 8 years. It will not show that up to the present the condition still exists. It has relevance to the present stage. School has been opened before June. The relevance is still there. Now in the case of event, indefinite that leads up to the present. It's an indefinite usage. In that case also we are using it. They have left their kids in the garden. They have left their kids in the kindergarten. I have parked my car in the garage. These are some of the examples. They have had dined together since 2000. This can also be a perfective usage. It can be habitual leading up to the present. She has sung on the stage since a little girl. I have been taught English since 1979. Till now, I am being taught English. Now we are coming to the last usage, perfect and progressive usage. Perfect, progressive together. Perfect progressive is used when the job is not finished yet, along with accomplishment verbs, used with adverbial clauses of time mostly. He has been cheering the pages since morning. Means the action is still going on. Will continue perhaps. He has been cheering the pages since morning means it will continue perhaps. Then it can have a limited duration. When it is having a limited duration of time, for example, they have been teaching for 9 years. That is what they have told. The duration is limited there. Continuous up to the present, continues up to present or past. I have been reading Dan Brown. I have been reading Dan Brown. I have finished reading Dan Brown's one book. I am continuously reading his book. I have been reading 2 or 3 of his books. That is the meaning of present progressive usage over here. It is not yet complete. That's when we use perfect progressive. I have been reading J.K. Rowling. That means J.K. Rowling's all the Harry Potter books series I am continuously reading. Perfect progressive may have results which are still having impact. That's the usage. Cannot be used with habitual verbs and punctual verbs. She has been starting cooking. It looks so nonsensical. They have been living here. Duration not specified. Temporary habit instead of habitual action of progressive can be shown in one example. She has been dressing up for the bridal makeup. This is how we are using it. Period of time orientation up to the present, not there if used with modals. It cannot be used with passive. I hope the various usages like present tense with reference to the time, then habitual, past reference of the present tense, etc. To sum up, then simple present is used for future reference or in fictional narrative. Then coming to the next one, it is talking to us about the progressive aspect where the state, event and habitual actions have been explained in the next slide. In another slide, future references of the progressive have been explained. Perfective usage. Again, state, event and habitual actions or habitual stages or usages have been explained. And perfect tense, how it is used. That has been explained here. State, event and habitual. Again, perfect progressive and its usage has been explained. Thank you for watching this, and we'll be back with another video about the past tense soon. Along with it, we'll also try to bring in pronunciation or phonetic rules in another video. Thank you. Have a nice day ahead.